Dear wonderful people of God, greetings from the Bethesda Assembly of God Church, Dimapur. In view of the upcoming decade of revival celebration as declared by the Assemblies of God India under the leadership of Reverend Dr. Dimapur, the General Superintendent of India, and the senior pastors of the New Life Assembly of God Church, Chennai. The Assemblies of God East India have decided to start 3 important programs. That is, number 1, that all the local churches must pray every day from 5 to 6 a.m. Secondly, all the local churches in East India will fast and pray on every Friday. Thirdly, we have decided that all the local churches must share, teach, or preach from the book of the Acts of the Apostles in order to fulfill the program of the celebration of decade of revival in the years to come. And in order to fulfill this program, we have also started the morning prayer and fasting prayer on Friday, and also teaching from the book of Acts of the Apostles. Now, if we look into the book of Acts of Apostles, chapter 1, verse 1 and 2, it is written, "In my former book, Theophilus, I wrote about all that Jesus began to do and to teach until the day he was taken up to heaven, after giving instruction through the Holy Spirit to the apostles as he had chosen." Now here, the book of Acts of Apostles, the author was Luke, who also wrote the Gospel of Luke. And therefore he addressed to Theophilus, mentioning that in my former book, which means the Gospel of Luke. We see the Gospel of Luke chapter 1, verses 1 to 4. Many have undertaken to draw up an account of the things that have been fulfilled among us, just as they were handed down to us by those who from the first were eyewitnesses and servants of the word. With this in mind, since I myself have carefully investigated everything from the beginning, I do decided to write an orderly account of you, most excellent Theophilus, so that you may know the certainty of the things you have been taught. This book, Luke, as well as the book of Acts of the Apostles, was written by Luke. And Luke, professionally, he is a doctor. He was also an historian. He was a good writer. He was a researcher. He was also an evangelist, and he was also a traveler. And therefore he had an opportunity to do the work of evangelist along with Apostle Paul. He traveled in many occasions, and therefore he was able to write the life of Apostle in the book of the Acts of Apostles. Luke was a Greek from the city of Antioch and Syria. And he has addressed the book of Acts of the Apostle to Theophilus. And Theophilus was a great man. He was a man of education and culture. Probably he must be a very highly respected officials in the government and in the society. And therefore, in the book of Luke chapter 1 verse 1 to 4, Luke addressed to Theophilus, who is his friend, which means most probably Theophilus was humble and God-fearing man. And so even though he was an official in the government, he don't want to use his title. On the other hand, it could be because he was a friend of Luke, and therefore Luke might have addressed to him just by name Theophilus. But here, the reflection from the life of Theophilus, I would like to draw the attention of the believers here is that Theophilus, such an educated and a man of culture and who loved Jesus, has so deep desire to know more about Jesus, to learn more about Jesus, and therefore Luke has addressed to him, and he has taught, or he has written this, the book of Luke as well as a book of Acts of Apostles to Theophilus, because he has a deep desire to know more about Jesus. And therefore, today, what I would like to say is that just like Luke and Theophilus, how Luke has written, how Theophilus has desired to learn about Jesus and leave the legacy and testimonies to us. So in the same way, whether we are rich or poor, whether we are educated or not, it is important for us to have a deep desire to know more about Jesus every day through His Word, and through prayer we can always communicate, so that we will be able to leave a great legacy and testimony to our children and to the people living around us. This is the message from me today. May God bless you.